Hello everyone, good evening, welcome to this edition of State of the State on this channel. I am Sunday Balawali. Apologies for coming behind schedule. It's due to a little challenge that's now being addressed. Today we'll be taking a closer look at the importance of accurate demographic data, especially in national development. And joining me in the conversation is the Federal Commissioner, National Population Commission, representing Ondo State, Our Excellency Olukene Nyoto. Thank you so much for joining me on State of the State.
Thank you for having me.
Now, let's start this way. National Population Commission is known for census. That's the general thing that comes to the mind each time you mention NPC, National Population Commission. What exactly, therefore, has been stalling census in the last almost 20 years, if not more now? I think the last time we had census in Nigeria was 2006. So what exactly has been the problem with census in Nigeria?
Thank you. Before I go to that, let me first of all correct the one erroneous belief of the whole people that population commission is for census alone. But in actual sense, we are not for census alone. We do vital registration, birth and death. So we are needed for that. Then the demographic demarcation, which are demarcated as the enumeration areas. Then the numbering of houses for census and stuff like that. So more than the census, we are on ground.
There are many other activities. Okay then. But then the main thing that many people always look forward to is the census because of the political importance, so to say, that people attach to it. So what exactly therefore has been dashing the hope of the people as far as that census is concerned?
In actual sense, we are not dashing the hope of the people. You know, to do census in a country like ours, which is a developing country, we need proper planning. That by the time you put things together, if it's not well planned, you know what it means, it will not be successful. So to really have accurate population of the people, the population of Nigeria, we need to plan well. So these are some of the things, putting things in place.
Proper planning.
Proper planning.
It's 10 years. Too small for planning because if my basic knowledge of a census is not failing me, it should be conducted 10 years to interval. So why is it that 10 years seems to be too short for the current Nigeria to plan and then execute a census?
10 years is not too much and it's not too short. But the thing is that what is the agenda of the person in the heads of affairs? Do they have the development of the nation at heart? What do they have for the people police? So these are some of the things. For example, if I have the intention of developing my country, I have to know the number of people in that country. But when you are there, you just want to build on something that's nothing, that's not there. You just do what you want and you don't care about the population.
Are the current handlers of Nigeria interested in the development of their people?
Very well.
So why is it that it seems that they're not taking that?
That's why you see the president of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, talking about census very convincingly, talking about census because his agenda, the whole renewed hope agenda, has to do with developing the country and making provision for the populace, at least for every one of us to benefit from the dividends of democracy. And that is why you see him that he's just planning and just telling people you have to go for a census. I want to be sure of how many people I'm going to cater for, so that to make life easy for the populace. So that is why any government in power that really have the interest of these people at heart, they want to know how many. For example, in a home like this, for example, as a woman, I have about 10 children in my home, and I know that I have to cater for them. I must be sure of the number of people I'm catering for in preparation of food and stuff like that. If I didn't know, it may be shorter and it will be in excess. So this is why I have to be sure, so that to make sure exactly what the point of the developed country. You know, the developed, anytime you point to them like this, how many people are you catering for? They know the number of people in their country. But Nigeria, you know, we are developing. If you go to the rural areas, you know how people were giving birth to every day, and we don't even care. We don't know them. So when you don't know their number, how will you make provisions for them? But thank God for the renewed hope agenda and the agenda of the state Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, our east is here. That means they have the love of the people at heart and they have plans for them. So to know them, you have to go about developing them has to do with knowing the accurate number of the people they are governing. You know, that kind of a thing. That's why the population commission like that to really go to the unreached people, go to the unreached area to generate data, to help generate accurate and reliable data to present to the president for proper planning for this country. So it depends on the people in the hands of affairs.
It seems to me that sometimes, annually when you hear that budget is reordered, or then they could tell you that no, that's budget padding. It came into the lexicon of the political and governance arena in Nigeria. Could it be the failure of planning that would now make them together and then no, this number will not all go well, and then there will be a way of tinkering with the number? Is it also not the failure to really ascertain how many people Nigeria is catering for?
You know, when we talk about budget padding, I don't believe it has to do with the people Nigeria has to cater for.
No.
I believe there are some people, there are some people and the helm of ourselves for their selfish interests. They don't have the interest of the people at heart. They don't care about what happens to the people. But what they care about is myself, my family. Because you can't tell me that population has to do with budget fighting. What do they want to fight for? When they don't even know the accurate number of people they are governing. You go to several constituencies, go to local government, they don't even know how many they are. So, but still, they still want to say, we want to develop our people, we want to go for constituency project, we want to make money. But they are making money for themselves, not the unreached people. A lot of us that when you want to vote now, they just go out, they canvass for votes, they go to the rural area, the unreached people, they can reach them. But by the time they get their votes now, they zoom away. And what do? They get that, they just we want to develop our constituency, we want to have a consensus project. What are they? They pass the budget. And at the end of the day, what happened? You won't even see any project they do.
So you think lawmakers are the real problem of the Nigerian people?
Every one of us are involved.
Everyone will be politician.
No, not politicians, even civil servants.
Okay, every
Nigerian, we are involved. Because there's no how you put a Nigerian in a place. They want to prove that, okay, this place I'm hard to boost my economy base. By the time we erase that one from our system or our mind, we have, okay, we want to develop these people. You have the heart of the people, not your own self alone. I believe every one of us Nigerians who are involved, anywhere we are, if we can be just and be truthful in where we find ourselves, then it will go a long way for the betterment of this nation.
Is it possible to look at maybe tinkering with our constitution to make censors? I'm still on the issue of censors, I've not left that yet. Is it possible to make censors so time-bound like elections? Because except for the time of the Jonathan administration, when general election was postponed maybe for like 2 weeks or thereabouts, I do not think that elections get postponed normally like that or frequently like that. So why is it that census? Since the Buhari administration, we've not been able to have the census, despite the many plans and the billions that were earmarked for it. Why is it like that? Is it a case of making census constitutionally time-bound, maybe to solve this problem?
Yes, I believe that it could solve the problem. But because personally, even the 10 years lag is too much for me as a person. By personal thought anyway. I believe if we really want development for this nation, census should be 5 years. That is, at least the child you get back to 5 years ago we start school. At least you have to enjoy some benefits from the government,
Yeah.
But by the time we say 10 years, it's not too much. So I believe a serious government, like I said earlier, if they really want, they have the interest of the citizens in heart, they have to conduct census 10 years at least. I know it was huge amount of money for planning, but that notwithstanding, for 10 years, when you say okay, census is going to be 10 years interval, then we have to plan for it and make sure it happens. But because we don't care, like I said earlier, we don't have plans for the people. So it doesn't even matter. Those that are just relocating, those that are going out, those that are just born, they don't make meanings. But in advanced countries, like I said, They know the importance of development. They know the importance of their citizens. The life of their citizens matters to them. So what happens? They want to know how many there are at a particular point in time. So if we Nigeria can inculcate that mentality or that mind, then the better for us. So census is supposed to be a fixed thing in a nation that wants to develop.
You are a federal commissioner in the National Population Commission, yeah. And you speak like you want the ideal thing, you want the ideal situation in the counting, in the management of data in Nigeria. I keep wondering, what exactly then do you discuss at management at the National Population Commission? Do you have this kind of robust conversation?
Sure.
How then is the situation this way?
You know,
what are the challenges you face?
We face a lot of challenges because at times you have some plans, you want to execute it. Then there are some rocks you are hitting when the moment you want to move forward. Some people will not want to move forward. And that's exactly what is happening in this nation. Some people are comfortable the way we are. They don't want Nigeria to move forward.
Who are these some people? You keep mentioning some people.
That's
some
why
people,
the power that
some
be.
people. Who are the power? Who are those at the ends of the power that be? On whose lap are we placing the culpability of the problems on our hands as far as counting is concerned in Nigeria?
You know, when we talk about counting, okay, let's assume now. The president has said, okay, we are going to have census, and it's going to be biometrics. You know, face capture, maybe, if possible, voice capture. Like the last time I was in the meeting in Abuja, we were talking about this thing. But some people are saying, why do we need biometrics? Why? Why do you need to capture faces? Okay, before we start this thing, we have to go and sensitize people, go around the country and sensitize people that we are going for biometrics. You know how, these are some rocks that we have to, and except you solve that one, it will escalate to national problem. So these are some of the things that we encounter. Like I was telling them, we were saying in that meeting, I said, if we go for biometrics, the better for us. At least we'll be able to come out with accurate number of people in this nation. But by the time we say, okay, we just go and count in, and some people will just say, you can't enter our home. We can't see our faces, you can only see our legs. How many legs are you going to see? How can you count legs and just come up with the accurate something? It's not possible. So these are some of the things. So they have not even concluded yet that we're going to do biometrics because they are still hitting some rock. You know what I mean? So these rocks, I said, okay, you have to go through them, sensitize them that this is how we're going to do this census this time around. But all we know that biometrics is the best solution for our inadequacies in our population in this nation. You know, so when we do biometrics, at least no two people can have the same top rating. No, it's not possible, even when you are twins. So you have to, by the time you go for biometrics and you capture face, you know, it goes a long way. At least if you don't reach there now, we are getting there. You understand what I mean? So these are some of the things. We can't say, okay, these people they are there, these people they are there. But these are some of the problems that we have. Some people, they don't want this thing to happen. They say, no, we sensitize us enough. We are not convinced that this biometrics is necessary at this point in time. Let's continue the way we used to do. But by the time you go, like they were comparing some states in the north, comparing it with the southwest and say, no, we have more population than them. But by the time you go to, what is it called? Go for rallies when you are campaigning for election, you want to wonder, where are these people that they talk about? You can't find them. You get to some villages, you can't even find anybody there. Still, they will just tell you, these are how many people are in this particular village. So why not do what you're supposed to do to really know the accurate number of people we are catering for in this nation? You know, when you don't have the accurate census number of this nation, it will be very difficult for us to move forward. So these are some of the things that we go through, that will take a long time before we get to where we are going.
It appears to me that census, the 10 years or 20, it's not becoming a 20-year thing. It's more or less like a cash cow, so to say. Why can't we look at some other means of counting? Why is it difficult to really do birth registration and death registration and do simple mathematics and summation to really get the average number of people? Why are we finding it difficult to have adequate registration of birth and death?
You know, I told you earlier that this some of the visions of the commission, population commission, we do register birth and death. We have our controllers in all the 18 local governments. For example, in Ondo State, all the 18 local governments, in this state, we have our controllers, where we have our registrars that manage each of the centers. We have different centers in each of the local governments. We ask them, whenever your child is born, come and register them. But you realize that they won't even bring their children out. They won't bring them. At times when they do this maternity center, that they do monthly after birth, and they bring out their children, we assign our registrars to go there and register their children. But they will not come to the office. They will not come to the center. I could remember the last e-registration we did, just about a few months ago. We did it with the collaboration of UNICEF. You know, people were not bringing that 0 to 5. They were not bringing their children out. They said they want to use it for campaign. They want to use it for election. So, except we in the Population Commission, when I resume office, after I resume office, I just feel that we have to sensitize our people. We have to go out and let them know the importance of census and the importance of birth registration. You know, by the time anybody dies and you have the birth certificate, and anybody is born and you have we can generate accurate data from that. But these people will not come out. They will not bring their children out. They say, oh no, we don't want, why do you want to take out the data of my children? You know, these are some of the problems we face as a commission. These are some of the problems. And by the time we say, okay, let's go to the villages, let's go to see the Obas, the royal fathers, let's go and see the religious leaders and talk to them so that they can talk to their people. And that's why since I resumed office, that we are canvassing, meeting stakeholders, talking to them about the purpose and the vision of the Population Commission.
How helpful are these stakeholders? How helpful
they are cooperating. Like we saw the governor, and you know, it has to do with our ISIS here. For him to fulfill the agenda of his policies for the state. You know, he has to know the number of people he is taking for. Like the other time during the women program, the National Women Days, National Women Day, he gathered a lot of women together and he empowered them. He said, I'm going to empower 1,000 women. You know, he got to a level. He was talking about a particular group of artisans. Who is representing these people? It's because he has the idea that some people are there. That's why he could recognize them and say, bring them out. Let me empower them. Let them be part of the dividends of democracy. It's because of the agenda he has. It's because of the man he has for the development of his people. Likewise, Mr. President, with the renewed hope agenda. That these things are no longer to be how it used to be. There is a renewed hope now. I want to renew the hope of people. Let them know that they have hope again in Nigeria.
So what is new in the National Population Commission?
It's by generating this census, getting accurate data.
When will the census really happen?
We can't say yet.
In the next 10 years?
No. In the next 2-3 years. Before next year, I hope. By the time, yesterday the government, the president set up a committee, the census committee, about 7-man committee, headed by the Minister for Planning and Budget and Planning, and the chairman of the Population Commission happens to be the secretary of that committee. So they set it up yesterday, and it gave them 3 weeks to come up with their resolutions to bring them to the table. That means in the last meeting we did in the commission in Abuja, we have 2 days, one in April and the other in November next year. So we are planning for. We are even almost through with our planning. All what we need to do now is to cross our T's and dot our I's. That's what we are doing now. So we are much ready. It just depends on the president.
We are much ready.
Yeah.
We are almost done with the planning. Which one do you take?
We are much ready and ready.
So we are still almost done with the planning.
I said what we need to do is to cross our T's. When I say cross our T's, you know what it
just
is?
Final
Yes, final touches.
That's what you mean.
Yes.
I'm just wondering why you still need final touches when the census is going to, and it was supposed to happen under the previous administration. Does that mean it had happened? Perhaps we wouldn't have had any adequate results.
There are
reliable results. So
exactly. There are 2 people in governance now. There are 2 people. The one that was there before and the new one. There are 2 entities. And the agenda of the 2 of them are different. But with the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I think he meant well for us, and he really want to know how many we are.
Did Buhari administration not mean well for Nigeria?
I'm not saying that.
I'm just asking.
I'm not saying that, and I don't want to say that.
No, okay.
I don't want to say that.
You are not saying that, and you don't want to
I
say
don't
that.
want to say that.
Okay.
I'm not saying it, and I don't want to say it. But what I mean is that if my agenda for this nation is to cater for every individual, for industrialization, healthcare, water, and all the benefits of democracy, I have to be sure of how many people I'm catering for. For me to have industry, how many people, like what we do in our what department is responsible for that in our commission. That's planning and strategy. Just plan how many people. Okay, after demarcation, they look at these people. Okay, Mr. Governor, if you really want to start industry, you don't have to go to this area because this area is already saturated. It's better you take it there. So these are some of the things we do in the commission. And by the time we do that, we have to present it to the commission. Like the last time we went for the meeting, I was agitated and I was telling them that in the Riverina area, the unreached people had to reach that. I said, okay, all the centers we have there, they are on the land. What happens to the one on water? So they said, okay, when you get to just look for those areas, let us get centers for them, so that we can recruit people from that area to really represent them. Those that will go there, that will assure that by the time they get there, they will do what they're supposed to do. And whether they like it or not, they must be there because it has to do with their destiny and the destiny of their people.
It appears you believe more in the Tinubu administration than the previous administrations in terms of seriousness in wanting to conduct reliable and effective, adequate data.
Yeah, because I know his blueprint. Because I'm part of the government. I know his blueprint and I know what he meant and what is in his mind for the people.
Well, you know, Nigeria is always very, very popular with setting up committees. There's a health emergency, that will be a committee. There is a security challenge, that will be a committee. There is this happening, a committee. That other one happening, a committee. Now a committee has also been set up for census. Beyond this, what would be the outcome of this committee?
I believe Tinubu is different because he's a man with a track record. Look at what he did in Lagos and look at where Lagos is at the moment. He's a man with a track record. So anybody, any serious minded
What track record exactly do you mean?
like,
and is that playing out in the current
look at the
national
revenue
situation?
of all those Lagos State. Look at the revenue. What was the revenue before Tinubu got to power? And what is it now?
Is that playing out in the economic situation of Nigeria today?
It's going to play out.
Is it playing out?
It's going to play out.
But it's not playing out in your time.
We are working towards it. You know, it needs planning. Everything needs planning. You can't get to a place one day and just do what you want to do. You've got to plan for it. You've got to lay the foundation. So by the foundation, he laid the foundation in Lagos how many years ago? And they were building on that foundation. And that's the importance of continuity that we're seeing in Lagos. So he's laying the foundation in this nation because I know his blueprint, I know what he wants for this nation, and I'm part of it.
You represent Ondo State at the National Population Commission, and I'm bothered. What new thing are you bringing on board to make Ondo State an example, a good example of that, as far as execution of programs that will make all of these programs, birth registration, death registration, counting, enumeration of area, demarcation, and all that, to be a blueprint for others? What are the plans? What are the programs?
Our plans is to generate accurate and reliable data.
How do you intend to do that?
We go to villages, we go to the unreached people, the unreached cities, the unreached towns. We go there, know how many houses we have there, then we know how many projects you have there, and you know how many industries you have to come there for there to open up. Because I look at it very critically. As a Nigerian or as somebody from this state, it's possible for me to be in my village. If my village has all the amenities I need and I settle there without coming to Akure. If I have water, I have light, I have access to everything good things in life. What am I looking for in Akure? I'll stay there and enjoy my natural life there. So these are some of the things we want to help the government do. That's the vision of National Population Commission. Help the government to reach the unreached. They have to reach area. Like for example, during when I came in, when I was sworn in as commissioner in charge of Ondo State, I have to meet with stakeholders, like I said earlier, I met with the governor. I even went to the Osopade, the Osopade secretary. Why did I go there? Because their area, the Ilaje and SLO people, they are on water. And we can't go to that terrain without people that understand that terrain to really assist you in generating or making your vision or your mind to come to pass in concerning that area. So I went to her to solicit her support. And he has given me awards that when we are going, that he has to send some people to go along with us. Those that really understand these people, those that really understand their terrain, those that really can tell us what happened. If, for example, he told us that some areas in a larger, that when you go during the day, you can't meet anybody. If we don't have the information, we just feel that we have to go during the day. And by the time we get there, we didn't meet anybody. What happened? We say there's nobody there. Then we have to come back home. Then it will not help our vision. It will not have our agenda. Our agenda is to get accurate data for the development of this state and the nation because of the vision of Mr. President. And that's what Mr. President was telling us. Go to the nook and cranny. I want to know the number of people I'm governing. I want to know how they are faring. I want to make life better for them. And that's why he just putting fire on our buttocks in a population commission. Because the work of the world depends on us. If you don't go to these people, Mr. President, he will not know that there are some people there. If you don't bring out genuine and reliable data, he will not know how to take care of those people there. He was telling us that everybody voted him in power, not some set of people. Not some elite that can really get to the corridor of power and get what they want to boost their. There are some people that they cannot come out and get to the corridor of power. But what we do that we have to go and meet them there. So by meeting them, how do you go and meet them there? Except we know that they are there. And by the time we bring out the generating the data and say, Mr. President, this is what we have gone to. This is how far we have gone to. This is how far we have realized about this people. Then you will know that some people are there. Then they will now ask, what is their need? What do they need? What did I need to do for them? I have to say this. I used to say, when we were in government, we were campaigning, and we got to a very thick area in the Odigbo area. It was in the forest, in the wilderness, let me say in the wilderness. When we were traveling there, we were going for canvassing for votes. When we were going, I was asking my husband, I said, are you sure there are people there? The driver I said, Excellency, there are a lot of people here. When we got there, lo and behold, massive people there. They don't have access to good hospital. They don't, even though not good, they don't have access to maternity center. No light, no water, no road. I was wondering, their children have to travel there. If they want to go to school, they have to relocate them from that village, bring them to the city where they can have access to school. But when we got there, the government was saying, so these people are here, how did they cope? It was after the election, they said, you have to build school for them. You have to do their road, give them maternity center, give them pipe-borne water, which we did. It's because we knew that it was there.
Well, Your Excellency, so much we've been talking about all along. Two things before I let you go. I do understand that some will talk about registering at the local government, some will talk about going to register at the NPC, National Population Commission. What's the difference?
The only authentic registration that we have is with the National Population Commission. Ages 0 to 18. If you are not registered at birth, by the time you get to the agency, you have to go and get the birth certificate of the National Population Commission. And as I said earlier, we have our centers in all the 18 local governments. We have our controllers there. We have our registrars there.
Is that a fair application of duties
No.
between the local government and your commission?
No, we are responsible for both the local government. It's not everybody that can come from the local government and come to the state office. You understand what I mean? So according to our local government, we have 18 local government, then we have controller money each of the local government. Then under this local government, we will have, at least to make it easier for people to reach where they are going to register. So they have to get centers in this local government. So by then, if this one is not near to you, you can get to the one nearer to you. So you get your child registered, and if they are death or call, you get them registered. But at the end of the day, we do collation. They bring it to the head office. We get our data from that.
Well, Your Excellency, I wish you would not be responding to the last question, but then you'll have to. I beg your pardon. Now, let's look at it this way. isn't that we have a lot of problems in Nigeria with duplication of functions, duplication of activities, and then it's not really auguring well for us as a people. Let me give you some instances. There is a National Identity Management Commission, that's NIMSI. They do a lot of biometrics and all of that. When we want to vote, there is the voter card that we register for and all of that. And then many other registrations we do. We want to go to bank, we have a ATM card. How can you check the pulse of an average Nigerian? You will not find at least 5 cards. Why is it then difficult for us to manage our identity? Why is it difficult for us to manage our number, to know what exactly, how many exactly are we? Is it that there's no collaboration, interagency collaboration among all of these agencies of government? What is the problem?
There's collaboration, and every one of the commission has its own purpose. For example, the NIMSI, you have your generate your data from there. At least you have your phone number, you have your name number, that kind of for identity, and that one is to curb insecurity. But ours in our commission is for population, for census, for population, the accurate data of numbers of people in this nation. That's why when you get to anywhere that you want to travel about, you have to get your birth certificate. Birth certificate is different from all these ones. It's different from voter's card is for you to vote, to register. Okay, you are a registered voter, you can vote. You have the power, you have the authority to be voted for and to vote. That's a different thing. And when you get to the bank, you have your ATM card just to get your money from the bank. So these are different. But there's
at every of these points, there's biometric registration, one way or the other.
Yeah.
And now NPC is also coming up with biometrics if it says through. Why can't we share intelligence and data to get to where we want to get to?
Well, you want to agree with me with that some of the local government in this state, in this country, they don't have access to light. You understand? Yes, no, except you want to get your NIN number now, you have to come to Akure. And you want to get your the birth certificate, there's no light where you are. When we are talking about this biometrics, there's no everywhere that you can have access to all these gadgets that we use these days now. The technology, the innovation that we have now. But by the time, that is why the reason for the purpose of population commission. That is why we have people on ground. So we are not there to collect money. We have to reach the unreached. Where technology cannot reach, we go there as a person. One-on-one relationship. We get there. That's why when we get there, you have to do your thumbprinting without even coming to leaving your village at the comfort of your home. You understand?
Very well.
You do your numbering, we do the numbering on how many houses are there according to EA, the enumeration areas, we have them. Then we move from one place to the other. If you cannot come, okay, when we are doing the voter scan, or when it was difficult for somebody to be a face to be captured, it takes some, because there are no network there. You understand? Most of them, they don't even have phone. They don't have access to phone. So this makes it complicated, but in actual sense, there's a synergy between the whole lot of them. There's a synergy, there's a relationship.
And is the synergy working?
It's working. It's working. And that is why, because the name that you are getting and the name number you are getting, the name people, they don't go to the villages, do they? No. They don't go to the villages, they don't go to the rich people. They just wait in the comfort of their offices and people will be coming. Is it everybody that can come? Is it everybody that has the means of transport? No. But there are some people, because of the nature of our environment where we live in, technology has not reached everywhere, just bringing it as a new innovation. It has not gotten to be a new crown of this nation. So there are some things we have to do manually, and it has to do with our office. This is why we take the registration of our birth, of our children, to the doorpost of every citizen of this country. And to get, in a situation, in an advanced country where we say, if you give them back to bring your child for registration, they will obey. But here we ask questions, why am I bringing my child? Why do you need the identity of my child?
We do hope that in the coming days we'll be able to still do more, especially in terms of generating reliable data for Nigeria, in terms of helping us for better planning a better future. Your Excellency, Olukemi, thank you so much for coming on State of the States. She's the Federal Commissioner representing Ondo State at the National Population Commission, NPC. Thank you so much for your time. Everyone, this is where we say a big thank you to you for being a part of the conversation. Today, we've talked about the importance of reliable data for national planning and development. Our good returns next week, God willing, with another conversation surrounding the national issue. I am Sunday Balawali. Please enjoy the rest of the